Cenk, 20 past 10, first day of NAMM. What could be finer?
Well, what could be finer is that Nick Butt coming to the Elektron booth of NAMM 2017 and asking me what do we have new? What don't we have new actually? Look at that over there.
Yeah.
But before we talk about that, let's talk a bit about what we did in last year. Like we released Analog Drive, which we have the pedals over there if you look. Yeah. Some guys trying it out with the guitars. And then we released the Analog Heat, of course.
Of course, our fine video.
Yeah, thank you very much for that again, Nick. Then we released Overbridge 1.15. And here we have it. It's working very well. I've been testing it for a long time, and finally I can say that this is really reliable. Notice that I'm running this on a PC. We're still working on the Mac version to make it much more smoother. It's coming. Just a bit more tweak to do.
That's unusual, isn't it? A PC first Mac.
Yeah, it is. But hey, you know how it is with Apple in these late times. You know,
just mix it up.
Yeah. But anyway, we've got it under control because we know what we need to do, and it's coming. Let's have a look at what we have here. So I've got the rhythm, the Analog 4, and the Heat hooked up via overhub going into the computer, and I'm running Ableton here along with my favorite VSTs, especially the D16, the Drama Zone, and this lovely. This one here, this is awesome 303, and I've got some free stuff from Tal, lovely effects. So what happens here now is like if I just press play on Ableton, yeah, so you can hear that the bass line is coming from this one here, so we could change the parameters of it maybe. Yeah, very nice. And I could assign this to, I've got Analog Heat after the plugin. So let's, and I've got it up here on the screen. So let's activate it. You can hear that it's already like kind of like exaggerated the sound. So you can like use all this filtering and stuff to it.
And we're seeing the same on the screen because
yeah. And what's really cool is that I can actually drag and drop the reverb before the distortion, and look how crazy it's going to be. Yeah, so you have all this possibility to use the Analog Heat plugin as like an insert effect and swap them around between your VSTi plugins and effects. What I really like doing here is that because I can only run one instance of Analog Heat, I like to drag and drop into a separate track and use it as like a mixing bus. This is actually my colleague Johan. He inspired me by this. I didn't think of this before, and all of a sudden he said, yeah, why don't you do it like that? And hey, it works really well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop the Analog Heat plugin into this track here, put it in the between of this reverb and a bit reduction. You want bit reduction with distortion, right? Yeah, that's. And let's see, and then let's turn the effect off and press play. And mind you though, I'm using the Heat as a sound card, so all the audio you hear is going through this. But I decide which tracks the effects add distortion and enhancement to the on the DAW by using the plugin. So I want to run some beats. Let's activate the analog rhythm. That's nice. But no, I want to run it through the Heat, so I've assigned it to the Heat track here, meaning that this track is going to the Heat plugin. So what we need to do is now press the active button, and here. Before we do that, I want to change a preset. So I want to go to the, which preset was the 808 Dirt. Right. Are we ready? Yeah, yes. Are we ready to press the active button? Yeah, we are. Come on. Yeah, this is kind of like, and on the screen we can see how all these parameters can be automated by the envelope follower and by the LFO and many other possibilities to effect. And let's say I want to bring in other elements of beats. I've got a Drama Zone running here.
Yeah. So you're just adding that to the drum bus,
exactly.
To the Heat bus?
No, not yet. It's on the master bus. So I select Heat. Now there's like the rhythm and the Drama Zone going through the Heat now. And what I can maybe do, if I want to go crazy, I could activate reverb after the Analog Heat plugin. Or I could drag it in before. Totally crazy. Having an analog insert effect like this is crazy. Or what I could do, I could actually assign bit reduction. if that is your thing, and make it really crazy.
That's 1 bit, isn't it?
Yeah, or 0 bit, half a bit. Yeah, so that's what we have here, and then maybe I could like activate this track as well, and this is already going through the heat. And maybe change the distortion model to like this. Yeah, and everything is in sync, so I can drop the tempo. Some crazy sounds happening, but it's kind of nice. I'll make it faster and go back to the BPM we were at.
Nice.
Yeah, it's still kind of in sync. So that's the Overbridge 1.15 available to download now. Free upgrade to all our users. And so let's take a look at the new machine, shall we, Nick?
Yes.
Why don't we make it on the way over to the table?
So we have.
Treat this like a separate video.
Let's do it. Yeah.
So Cheng, second part of our visit to the Elektron booth, new hardware. Big smile on your face, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big smile. Yes. Because this is a machine that I've been actually wanting for a long time. A cheap Elektron box that has the magic of Elektron touch, and finally we've done it. I'm so happy to show you the
coming
Digitakt.
around here.
Yeah. So we have the Digitakt. It is an 8-track sampler. It's a drum machine, sampling drum machine. You have 8 tracks. You have 8 MIDI tracks on top of that, so it's 16 tracks in total. You have 2 stereo inputs to sample into it. You can do real-time sampling. You can resample your tracks. You have 1 gigabyte of storage. You have USB connection for future Overbridge compatibility. That we're going to announce more details about that in the future. But right now we're focusing only on the hardware. We want to get that right first, then we move on the Overbridge. One of the neat things that I really like about the Digitakt is the MIDI tracks will offer trig conditions. What does trig conditions mean? Is that on the
like on the machine drum and the rhythm. Is it a rhythm?
Rhythm and analog 4. Basically, each step can have its probability of trig in it. So you can have a random trigs in your MIDI sequences that doesn't trig every time. You can do much more other things like fill and everything. Our users have been using this feature for like about a year now on the rhythm and analog 4, and now finally we can say that this is applying to the MIDI tracks on the Digitakt. And you can see on the hardware we've really upgraded our machines. We've got a crisp OLED screen, very readable.
Lovely.
We have backlit buttons, and the mechanism of the buttons are changed, meaning that they're much more durable. We've really looked hard into this. They feel great, and I think they look really good as well. I'm very happy with them. And finally, we have new encoders, meaning that again, they're much more durable. You have a higher resolution. It's a better feel altogether. And this is going to be available in April. We're aiming for April. And it's going to be around 650 euros and dollars. So
a new price point for you guys, really,
exactly.
as well, yeah.
That's what I said at the beginning of this video. Finally, a cheap Elektron product that is accessible to many people, because other products, they're really good. And this is really good as well. But we made it digital so we can keep the cost down and have it accessible to everyone. And also, I mean, we've had so much analog gear, so maybe it's time to go back into digital, we thought, and we thought of something doing exciting like this.
So is it in terms of the OS, so have we got filters and stuff in DSP, that sort of stuff?
Yeah. Each of the tracks offers you a sample playback page, a digital filter with an envelope, and on the sample playback page you have a bit reduction, and these are early things that I'm saying, so things may change, but this is as far as I know. And I hear from the mysterious depths of the underground development team in Elektron that maybe we will have some kind of like a distortion or some kind of digital overdrive in the units to dirt up the sound. But if you don't really like that, you can combine this with analog heat. You know, you can imagine this analog heat sitting next to it. It's a great companion to this little box of wonders that we're about to
it's got
unveil.
a gig of storage. Is that essentially a gig of RAM, so you can play from a gig's worth of samples, or what's
That's not entirely correct. The specs is that you have 1 gigabyte storage, and per project you can have up to 64 megabytes of sample
Okay.
memory.
So, I mean, that's enough for loops and one-shots and
Well-
a couple of phrases, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, 64 megabytes in mono, that's quite a long, like it's about like 10 minutes or something. That's a lot of sample material to play around with. And remember, we have the Electron Sequencer here, meaning that each track can be a different sample with different tuning settings, different filter settings. Each step can be a total different sound. And now we've taken on that to the Midi Sequencer as well. Each step can have, you know, a chance of triggering your external synthesizer.
wow, yeah, okay.
So we've got a lot of in-depth features for a good price point. And yeah, so I guess
I guess what, when we're going to start hearing it, maybe Super Booth or?
well, I don't know what to say to that.
Say yes.
Say yes, yes. Well, I think we will start hearing it soon, and of course we've got a lot of things that we want to show everybody what this machine is capable of. I mean, for me, I can't wait to show that I can like just sample something from the vinyl, put it into the sequencer and mess around with it, and then go to the next track, add my 808 kicks or 909 or these compressed kicks that I have in there, which already sound great. There's a lot of potential in this box that I can't wait to show to the world actually. So yeah, that's all we have for NAMM 2017. Thank you very much for coming around, Nick, and I guess we will see each other on another review of the Digitakt pretty soon, right?
Awesome, yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, goodbye.
Bye-bye.